उद्घाट्य योगकलया हृदयाब्जकोशं धन्यैश्चिरादपि यथारुचि गृह्यमाणः यः प्रस्फुरत्यविरतं परिपूर्णरूपः श्रेयः समे दिशतु शाश्वतिकं मुकुन्दः अमरीकबरीभारभ्रमरी मुखरीकृतं दूरीकरोतु दुरितं गौरीचरणपङ्कजं परस्परतपःसम्पत्फलायितपरस्परौ प्रपञ्चमातापितरौ प्राञ्चौ जायापति स्तुमः. So we did the first two varieties of Utpreksha. There are 6 varieties of Utpreksha: Vastutpreksha, Hetutpreksha, and Phalutpreksha. Each one is divided into 2 depending on what is the Vishaya. In Vastutpreksha, is it an Ukta Vishaya or an Anukta Vishaya? That is whether what is being fancied is said or not. So there are 2 varieties of Vastutpreksha which we saw. Now we have to move on to Hetutpreksha and Phalutpreksha. Just as a recap of what the 2 varieties are. Adhumastomam tamashanke. Yeah. Okay. This not dhamastomam. Seri. Modalliye aarambathliye tapparthe. Seri. Dhumastomam tamashanke koki viraha shushmanam. This is the example we saw for Ukta Vishaya Vastutpreksha. So what is the Vishaya here? Tamaha. Tamas or darkness that we see outside is being described by the poet, and that is mentioned here also. So tamaha katham utprekshyate atra dhumastomam iti utprekshyate. So dhumastomatvena utprekshyate. It is being fancied as a column of smoke that has just spread around in the world. It is not darkness, but it is only smoke that is there, which seems to come out of the Agni, Tapagni that is inside the minds of the Chakravaka birds. So it needs a Samana Dharma here for me to do this fancy. If it is not, if there is no Samana Dharma, then we cannot do this Utpreksha. There should be some sort of a Samana Dharma which becomes the nimittam for us to fancy the darkness as smoke. The Samana Dharma here is Neelatvam and Drishti Pratirodhaka. So that is the quality of obstructing the eyesight and being really dark. Neelatvam, Krishnatvam, whatever you may take. So this was Ukta Vishaya, wherein this Tamaha has been mentioned here. In the next case, Limpativa Tamongani, Varshativa Nabhaha, Anjanam Nabhaha. Here, the spread of the darkness is being described in 2 ways. The first method of describing the spread of the darkness is Angani Limpati Iva. It is as if it is painting all of my all of the parts of the body, or all of the Vastu, everything that is there. It seems as if the Angas, all the bodies, are being painted by Tamas. And then Varshati Iva Anjanam Nabhaha. The spread of the darkness is as if the sky is raining Kajal. Now there are 2 kriyas that are here. One is lepanam, the other is varshanam. So limpati iva, varshati iva. These are the 2 things that are being fancied here by the poet. So lepana kriya, varshana kriya cha atra utprekshyate. Now what is the vishaya that is being fancied as these 2? Tamo Vyapanam, the spread of tamas. That Vyapanam or Vyapnoti is not given in the example at all. So the Vishaya is Anuktam. It is not mentioned. Again, there should be a dharma between Vyapanam and Lepanam, Vyapanam and Varshanam. The dharma, common dharma here is for lepanam, just when you paint something, there are several objects which are of different colors, and suddenly everything seems to be painted by darkness. That is, imagine you take a black paint and paint 5 different pots, different colors, but then you've painted the entire painting black. Or it can be think of it, a painting may be better. So think of it as a painting which has many different objects which can be distinguished because of the colors that they have. Now suddenly you take a black paint and then paint the whole painting just black. Nothing is distinguishable there. So it's as if all of the vastus have been rendered completely dirty or dark. So Malini Karanam, that is how thick the tamas has spread in the world. So that is the commonality between that painting and Vyapanam. Now Varshanam and Vyapanam, we need a commonality between these 2. What is it? Nabhav Prabhuti Bhuparyantam, starting from the Akasha to the Bhumi, all of the vastus are covered here. So when there is a thick rain of something which is like like kajal, which is very thick, if it rains, pours down, it covers everything right from the sky to the bhumi. Now this is the samana dharma between tamo vyapanam and anjana varshanam. Is that clear? And that vyapanam is not mentioned. Okay. So now we can, any questions so far?
But the anjanam itself is black kajal, right?
Yes.
So, and that is being likened to tamaha, right? There is a obvious equivalence between the two.
Tamaha anjanam iva varshati. Still, it is varshanam that is being, tamaha cannot, tamastu tatra varsharupena nichaif patitum yogyatvam nasti tamasi. Right?
Nasti. Tatapi tolanam kimapi asti.
You can say tamaha anjanamiva, whatever. Vyapnoti.
Nama atrapi nilatvam iti samana dharma nasti.
That also you can use. You can take as nilatvam also as samana dharma. No problem. But the nilatvam is only a samana dharma between the two vastus. It does not talk about the action, which is what is being fancied here.
So varshanam and lepanam, which is actually ukta, it still does not. It only implies the anukta vyapanam. So okay. So suppose he had said, suppose he used the same verb, limpati on both sides. I guess it doesn't make a difference. It's the vyapanam is what he really means.
It's all the same. Yeah. I have just split it into two. That's all. Nimittam can be both the same. Just to understand, see, Nabhav Prabhriti Bhu Paryantam is the quality of Varsha. It is not the quality of painting. Adhikaga, I've just split it into two for easier understanding. Because there are two Utprekshas here.
Two Utprekshas. One is the fact that it's the skies are anjanam. Second is the fact that darkness is as if sticking.
Yes.
That cannot stick to the body, but it's as if sticking.
Yes.
Okay. So there are two Utprekshas, but aren't they tied together? Aren't they tied together in equivalence?
அது வந்து இதுல தானே உங்களுக்கு கம்யம் தானே. Why do you have to? I don't understand. Why is that relevant here?
So see, tamaha angani limpati iti uchyate chedeva tatraiva utpreksha asti kila kevalam.
Correct.
पुनः पृथक्तया नभः अंजनं वर्षति तत्रापि उत्प्रेक्षा अस्ति किल.
Yes.
द्वावपि इव इति शब्देन नाम द्वयोः अपि किमपि सम्बन्धः अस्ति किल.
Okay.
That is not included in the alankara.
किमर्थं तत्र? I don't understand.
There
are two different utprekshas here which are existing as samsrishti. That's all.
That's it. Okay. Yeah, that was confusing me. So I was thinking that there was a master construct encompassing those two.
No need.
That's what we are referring to. No, we are going down to a simpler. Okay. That's actually very.
Or is it
easier
just
to
two
understand.
examples?
Easier to understand, much easier.
Exactly. Don't combine it at all. That's why I put it separately here.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Is it two different examples or samsrishti? I thought it was just two different examples.
Yes, two different examples, because both of those examples exist in one shloka itself. You can say those two are samsrishti. Samsrishti is where the tilatandulavat you can separate.
Tilatandulam. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. They're not dependent on each other, nor are they in some way, is there a dependency or not? Is there a question? Tatha nasti atra. No.
So the samsrishti and sankaraha and all need not be different alankaras. It can be same type of alankara which is joining either samsrishti.
It is a different type of alankara. It is taken as a separate alankara itself. So if I have to look at this line alone, I will say there is one utpreksha in lepanam iva, and then varshanam iva ityatra dvitiya utpreksha vartate. Ubhayoho samsrishtihi is the third alankara.
But both are anukta vishaya vastu utpreksha only. That is the same kind.
Yes, it is the same kind of utpreksha. That's all. But there are two anukta vishaya utpreksha.
Okay.
But it's actually a bit harder to identify this. Like the Prakrita, I mean, the Ukta Vishya seems to be easier to identify.
Yes, because it is Uktam.
Yeah, this is Anukta is kind of it's subtle. Like I say, Tamaha Angani Limpati, Sarvam Uktam Iva Bhati.
இதுக்கே இப்படின்னா அடுத்ததெல்லாம் இன்னும் கஷ்டம்.
ஆமா, ரொம்ப subtle அப்படியே think பண்ணி the mind has to be very very not intellectually sharp but subtle, கொஞ்சம் delicate, like like a delicate flower.
Even if the Vyakhyata has given, it takes some time to get into the mind of the Vyakhyata to understand why he has said this.
Yeah.
Now we'll look at the text for the other two and then come back. Okay. So, Siddha Vishaya Hetu Utpreksha. So, Hetu, Ahetuhu Hetutvena Utprekshit. That's the definition for this. Something that is not a reason. There is a prakritam that is happening and a reason is given. The reason is not the reason, but it is being fancied as the reason. So the reason is being fancied. So Hetu Utpreksha. And whether that Hetu exists or not, the Vishayam exists or not, we have to see. Okay. So Siddha Vishaya Hetu Utpreksha. Whether the Vishayam is something that is actually happening or not. Okay. Raktau Tavangri Mrudulau Bhuvi Vikshepanat Dhruvam. Raktau Tavangri Mrudulau Tava Angri Ubhau api padau raktau. Both of your feet are soft, mridulau, and they are red in color. Now, this is a very natural occurrence where if you see the bottom part of your feet, it is actually slightly pinkish, reddish in color. So, tava, and if it's a person whose feet are very soft, then it will naturally be even more reddish in color. So, tava angri, mridulau angri, tava, both your very soft charanau, feet, bhuvi vikshepanat raktau. Now, he gives the reason here is bhuvi vikshepanat, sancharat, because of walking around on the floor, bhumi, it has become red. He removes the idea that it could be swabhavikam and he says this redness is only because of walking on the floor. It is not because of a swabhava. So ityatra bhuvi dhruvam iti padam vartate sayeva utpreksha shabdah vachakaha. So bhuvi vikshepanam padayoho raktatvasya hetutvena utprekshyate. This bhuvi vikshepanam, walking on the floor, on the bhumi, on earth, has been taken as or has been fancied as a reason for the feet to be red. Now, where is this Siddha Vishaya? Now, what is the Vishayam here? What are we trying to describe? Vishaya is always something that is the context that we are describing. So, Padayoho Raktatvasya Swataha Siddhatvat. Raktatvam is being described here. The redness of the feet is being described. Is it something that is that is siddham, that is present or not? It is swabhavikam. It is naturally present. But the hetu is actually swabhavaha. Swataha siddhatvat. The hetu is swabhavam. Why is it red? It is red. It is naturally red because it is its nature to be red. But what are we saying? Swatas siddhatvat. Vikshepanam na hetuhu. Bhumau vikshepanam, walking on the floor, is not a hetu for the feet to be red. We have to assume, okay, that the feet is so soft that it is very red in color, okay, or very pinkish in color. And then if without even walking, her feet are actually red. But then the Kavi wants to praise her feet and he is saying, Bhuvi Vikshepanadeva Dhruvam Raktau. It is definitely red because of that only. So, Tathapi Hetutva Sambhavanat Hetutpreksha. Atra Vikshepanam Vishayaha. Such a Siddhaha. No. Tasmin Hetutvam Hetu Tadatmyam Utprekshyate. Okay. நான் மாத்தினேன்னு நினைச்சேன் ஒரு நிமிஷம். So this what he's trying to fancy here is only the hetu here. Her feet are naturally red here. Imagine a nayaka he is talking to the nayika to impress her or to just tell her, you have such soft feet. And in that moment of Shringara, he is describing it like this, saying that it is naturally so red. But then I think it has been caused by mere walking, not like a trail walk or a stomping of the feet or any of that reasons are not there. It is just naturally red, that's all. But then bhuvi vikshepanam is also possible. She walks on the floor. By normal walking, none of her feet becomes red, right? He fancies that it is only because of walking it has become red like this. So walking is also a siddha vishaya. पादयोः रक्तत्वम् अपि सिद्धविषयः. But then this bhuvi vikshepanam or walking on the floor is being fancied as the reason for it becoming red, even when it is naturally red. Is that clear? So atra vikshepanam vishayah sacha siddhah तस्मिन् हेतुत्वं हेतु तादात्म्यं उत्प्रेक्ष्यते इति सिद्ध विषया हेतुत्प्रेक्षा.
So there is this simile that they put, right, in Tamil, at least in our homes, you come and say padichu kirichutaya.
Okay.
It means you have read the book so much that the leaves of the book have the pages of the book have torn off.
Okay.
Is that something like that, the hetu of the
படிச்சதுனால கிழிஞ்சு போயிடுது அப்படிங்கறான். But அது வந்து you have used it so much that you have actually torn the book. Let's say you see, take this as an example. இப்படி எடுத்துக்கோங்க. Don't take it literally the way we are used to it. The book is actually torn. அது second hand book. Okay? But then someone comes and sees, he has not even opened the book, let's say. But someone comes and sees that book and says, நீ படிச்சு கிழிச்சுட்டியே அப்படிங்கறோம். It's a sarcastic way of saying இல்லையா?
Utpreksha இப்படி இறக்கிட்டீங்களே.
No, I'm just trying to see. No, I'm not trying to. I just want to understand a very normal event that happens that we are actually giving. Okay.
The problem is, this is not a normal scene. The moment you bring a kavya word into the vyavaharika world, it loses its charm. And at the same time, you cannot, the kavyam also loses its charm. Because you are trying to equate it to something normal. Or there was a small lecture demonstration by a dancer who was showing how normally people cry. You make a sound, there is so much of crying, you rub your eyes like this and done. That is normal crying. That is in the normal world. But when you go into the dance world, you cannot do that on stage. This is like a stage. Kavyam is like stage for us. So there you will have to show worry lines. You'll have to show my heart is crushed. I'm not able to speak. Something of that sort should come there. There should be more beautifying aspects to it.
Samskaranam.
Normally, you can't just bawl away like how you do.
So, but the chamatkara of this hetu is completely. I mean, the turn the whatever is said, that is surely vikshepanat. The cause is said in words, but the fact that that the poet is saying your skin must be so tender, that is completely gamya vishaya, right?
Yes.
And I thought the chamatkara is more in the gamya here.
Illa, it's not gamyam. Mridulau iti asti atra.
Oh, mridulau iti uktam. Oh, mridulau. That's why it's not gamya. Okay,
yeah.
Got it.
Okay. Seriya. We'll do the aparam udaharanam. Maybe this will be easier, Papo. Ratro raver divacha indoho abhavadiva sa prabhuhu bhumo pratapa yashasi mrishtavan satata udite. Srishtavan irkanam. It should be Srishtama. Saha Prabhuhu, a king created, he saw that there is no sun during the night. nor is there moon during the day. Ratrau ravehe abhavat. Ratrau ravehe abhavat. Diva icha indoho abhavat iva. As if thinking that there is no sun during the night and there is no moon during the day, he decided to create two things, which is his pratapa and his yashas. Pratapa is equated to Surya. There is a tejastvam associated with the pratapa. His valor is shining like the sun. And there is a commonality here between the two. You need that first. Okay. So his valor is shining like the sun, and his fame is as white as the moon. It is also shining like the moon. Now, these two have been created, Srishtavan. Satata udite, that which is ever always risen. That is, it is always at its peak. It is never fading away at all. So the king's valor and his fame are such that they are always at the peak and always in a rising position. It is never in a fading position. Because these two are ever present, even if the sun is not there, his pratapa is shining always. Even if the moon is not there, it seems as if his yashas has replaced the moon here. This is the meaning. But look at the vachaka words that are there. Saha prabhuhu bhumau satata udite pratapa yashasi srishtavan. He created Srishtavan, sa prabhuhu, the king has created on this earth pratapa and yashas, his valor and his fame, which are always which have always arisen, or which are always at its peak and shining. Satata udite. Why does he do that? His pratapa and yashas are also present. During the night, there is no sun. Because there is no sun, ratrau ravehe abhavat iva pratapam srishtavan. Diva indoho abhavat iva, because the moon is not, as if the moon not being present during the day is a reason for him to create yashas, fame, which is always rising. Now, atra pratapa yashasoho srishtau srishti vishaye saptami atra. So in the matter of creating pratapa and yashas, he already has valor. He has a great valor and a great fame. The king has both here. So in that matter, ratrau surya abhavaha diva chandra abhavaha cha swatas siddhau hetutvena utprekshitau iti siddha vishaya hetu utpreksha. This is easier to understand because siddha vishayam is ratrau suryaha na prakashate, diva induhu na prakashate, parantu indu sthane yashaha vartate, surya sthane pratapaha vartate. Is it clear?
Nama tatra ratrau suryah nasti iti siddha vishayah. And diva chandra nasti api siddha vishayah iti hetu hetoho siddhatvam
ahetoho. These two are not hetu for pratapa yashas.
Okay, fine. So it is actually not the cause. Okay, fine. Pratapa yashasi iti dvepi siddhe eva. So idanim etayoho sambandhah tu nasti. Atra sambandhah utprekshate.
Yes.
Parantu
what is the sambandha? Hetu madbhava sambandha is being utprekshita.
Atra yadi so atra in both sides do you need siddha vishaya, like
No.
matram siddha vishaya irundhu indha pakkam asiddha vishaya irukalama illa appadi mudiyadhu, rendume siddhama irukanum.
I think idu vandu siddha vishaya is only with respect to the hetu.
Okay.
Ama. I have not come across an example which has both as
one of them only as siddha and other as asiddha. Is not like that.
Adu paakala. Ama.
But it is not saying siddha hetu, it is saying siddha vishaya.
Siddha vishaya
hetu utpreksha. Utprekshayaha eva tatra yasyam utprekshayam hetuhu siddha vishayaha vartate. அப்படி எடுத்துக்கணும். It's an adjective to हेतुः सिद्धविषयः यस्याम् उत्प्रेक्षायां तादृशसिद्धविषयः वर्तते सा सिद्धविषया उत्प्रेक्षा हेतु उत्प्रेक्षा. Any questions? Okay. Next is asiddha vishaya hetu utpreksha. त्वन्मुखाभ इच्छयानूनं त्वन्मुखाभेच्छयानूनं पद्मैर् वैरायते शशि. Shashi padmaihi vairayate. The moon has a virodha bhava towards the lotuses because the moon, as soon as the moon rises, the lotuses close up, and only when the moon goes down, it starts blooming because of the sun. So Padmaihi Shashi Vairayate, why is it now trying to have an enmity towards this is Twan Mukha Abha Ichchaya, because it wants to get your luster. Your face is luster. No, we'll read this and then we'll see. So Shashi Chandraha Tava Mukhasya Ya Abha Saundaryam Tal Lipsaya. So Abha Ichchaya. Ichcha here is Labdhum Ichcha. So labdhum ichcha becomes the hetu here. So in order to attain the abha, beauty of your face, padmaihi saha vairam karoti ityatra Chandra padmayoho virodhe swabhavike api, even though the virodha between these two are swabhavika, tanvi mukha kanti labha ichcha hetutvena utprekshyate. Why should it have see, the lotus is also as beautiful as the face, and the face is also looking beautifully like the face, so there is a comparison between the two also. Not being able to do anything towards the face, he is showing his anger to a third person here, which is the lotus. So Chandra Padmayoho Virodhe Swabhavike api, even though there is a natural enmity between the moon and the lotuses, Tanvi Mukha Kanti Labha Ichcha Hetutvena Utprekshate, but the desire to attain the Kanti, the luster of the lady's face, Tanvi Mukham, is being fancied as the cause here for that enmity. Chandrasya Kanta Mukha Kanti Lipsayaha Aprasiddhatvat. Asatvat, asiddha vishaya hetu utpreksha. The moon is not having any interest to get the lady's luster or anything of that sort, because it is an upamanam, and it is we don't know about what is going on in the mind of the moon. Moon, if you take it as a vastu here, achetana vastu, then thinking about this moon having an ichcha itself is an utpreksha here. And that being a hetu for its enmity with the lotus is the utpreksha here. So asiddha vishaya hetu utpreksha. Is it clear?
But
But why can't it directly have the enmity with the face? Why does it
Enna
have
pannu? What is the enmity with the face, and what can it do with the face?
No, see, the English explanation lacks so much. Your statement that the moon could not do anything to the lotuses, that's why he's having an enmity. I mean, to the face, that's to the lady's face. That's why he is reminded of the beauty of the lady's face by looking at the lotus. Therefore, he is having an enmity with the lotus. That kind of explanation should have been written by the Vyakyakara. It is obvious when you say it, like Columbus in the egg. But it's such a beautiful way, and he didn't explain it properly, in my opinion. But it's an amazing statement. Indirectly, the beauty of the lady is being praised. Indirectly, by imagining the situation where the moon is jealous of the lotuses. What has that got to do with the lady's face?
Exactly.
Imagine this, right? It's a charming statement, of course, but it requires some thought to unravel the beauty. Maybe in the context it will be obvious, but honestly, it's beautiful.
So moon's enmity with the lotus is the anukta asiddha vishaya, right?
Enmity with the lotus, Kanta, yes. Enmity with the lotus is the asiddha vishaya.
Asiddha vishaya.
No. What do you call it?
No, sorry. Mukha Kanti Lipsa is the asiddha vishaya.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. On retrospect, it looks like on both sides you have asiddha vishaya. But in Kavi Samaya, the fact that the moon is the enemy of the lotus is kind of taken for granted.
Yes.
But actually, if you penetrate that through our modern eyes, that also looks like Asid.
Yeah. We take it as virodhaha swabhavikaha.
Uh,
There is no hetu for it.
yeah. There's no Utpreksha also there. It is right in originally, but now it seems to my eyes that on both sides there is Utpreksha. There is Asiddha Vastu, I'm saying.
So,
No,
which is
I
the
didn't
Siddha
get it.
Vishaya again?
Asiddha Vishaya again is, see, the last line, Chandrasya
Oh, moon.
Kanta Mukha Kanti Lipsa. Lipsa is Labdhum Icha.
Each. Okay.
The moon cannot wish for attaining the Kanti, right?
That is a prasiddha.
So that is
Vishayam.
Asiddha.
So that's a asiddha Vishayam.
Okay.
And because of that, why should it have enmity with the lotus? What does lotus have to do with the face?
Adha modaliye sonne. Lotus is as soft and as beautiful as the woman's face. Inge kamika mudiyadada anga kamikra. பண்றோமா இல்லையா யார் மேலயோ கோவம் இந்த பக்கம் ரெண்டு சாத்துவோமா இல்லையா அந்த மாதிரி
பம்மல் கேஸ் அந்த மாதிரி பழமொழி சொன்னா அனுபவிக்கணும் ஆராயக்கூடாது.
That is because the moon is seeing, the lotus to approach the beauty of the lady's face. So the moon is reminded of the lady by looking at the lotus. So
it is also able to show its enmity only towards the Padma.
Yeah. Okay.
Because the moon, a lady's face doesn't seem to fade at all, no matter what.
In a Telugu kavyam, right? The hero and heroine, one is rich and other is poor. The lady comes and says that we are like the lily to the moon and lotus to the sun, that far apart. And the guy says, no, actually we are like the even more further apart, like the lotus to the moon, because the moon comes to the night and lotus in the morning. He says it's not even like lotus and sun, we are lotus and moon.
Okay.
You see,
So that is how I have not seen in the enmity context. It is the distance is how it was.
India, it is very common in Kavi Samaya to take it as Surya is the Nayaka and Padmini is the Nayika. Because with its rays it makes it bloom, whereas the Chandra is the opposite. As soon as the moon rises, the lotuses start fading. It doesn't like the moon, whereas the Kuvalayam, adu vandu malarradhu. The lilies bloom when the moon is up. So the lilies have a virodha towards the sun and they have a maitri bhava towards Chandra.
But the fact that the lady's face is beautiful or even more beautiful than the lotuses is Gamya, right? Right? So would you put that as, you wouldn't probably take it as far as Dhwani, or would you?
Dhwani, that is just a Gamyam.
Or Alankara Dhwani, maybe the Upama is suggested.
Adu is there, Aupamyam suggestion is always there, but whether it is more beautiful than this, no.
Okay.
Utpreksha definitely shines more than the Upama. Okay. Asyaha aparam udaharanam vivasvata anayishata iva mishraha स्वगो सहस्रेण समं जनानां गावोपि नेत्रापर नामधेयाः तेन ईदम् आन्ध्यं खलु न अन्धकारैः विवस्वता स्वगो सहस्रेण समं जनानां गावः अपि अनायिषत इव. It is as if the sun has taken away. So the sun is setting. It is contracting its own rays, so it takes away its own rays along with the light that comes from the eyes of the people also, the light of the people's eyes, that is their drishti. So jananam gavaha api, go Gauhu is kiranam. It also means eyes, or it means the light, prakashaha iti. It also means cow. But then here we always take it, when in the context of Surya, we take it as kiranam. So swa go sahasrena saha, along with its thousands of rays, mishraha jananam gavaha api, even the light of the people, which is called as netra, netra apara namadheyaha, which are named as the netra, that is netra aparanamadheyaha gavaha, gavaha which have its other name as netra, eyes. So gavaha here is light. So usually it is not just the golakam that we say, it is only the drishti that is not seen when the sun is also gone. There is darkness here. Because of the darkness, we are unable to see. There is no light in our eye. It is an expression that we use in English also. Yeah. So in the same way, netra aparadhanamadeyaha gavaha api anayishata, they have been taken along with the Surya Kirana by the sun. Along with his rays, he has taken the light of the people's eyes also, mixed with that. So swa go sahasrena mishraha netra apara namadheyaha gavaha api anayishata, he took it with him, he led it along with him, or it were led by him. Idula irukku lung karmani prayoga. So anayishata nitaha iva, anayi anayishatam anayishata varno. Okay, so vivasvata suryena, na innum kadasi line ku varala, because that is where the hetu is being denied here. So vivasvata suryena swakiranaihi saha mishritaha jananam netra aparanamadheyaha gavaha api anayishata nitaha iva. Now tena idam andhyam khalu na andakaraihi. Tena nayanena. Nayanena is not the eye nayanam, but leading. Grahanena. By leading the eyes and his kiranas away from the world. Tasmadeva idam andhyam. This andhatvam or blindness is because the sun has taken away the light of the eyes of the people along with his own kiranas also from this world. So this blindness is because of that, and not because of andhakara. Natu andhakaraihi ityatra suryena jananam netra nayanam asiddham. Surya, the sun, does not take away our eyes every day, right? It does not do that. There is, it sets, and taking away its own kiranam is a natural process that it does. That's all. Ratro andhatayaha hetutvena utprekshyate. Tasmad asiddha vishaya utpreksha. So Surya, the sun, does not take away the eyesight, but instead it is being fancied as a reason here, as the cause for the blindness of people during the night. So there are other alankaras also here. First of all, if you have a doubt with respect to asiddha vishaya hetu utpreksha, if you have a question regards that, then ask. Adukapro, we will analyze into what other alankaras are there in this.
Only the sun is said to be having 1000 kiranas, sastra kiranam, right? The moon does not have that many kiranams, right?
Irklame. Theriliye.
That also
Yes.
is it?
Why not?
Okay.
Panla. So, hetu asiddha vishaya hetu utpreksha is clear now, right? The other alankaras here, you can say as samam. In the swa go sahasrena samam gavaha anayishata is a and adena inda alankara sahokti alankara. Okay.
Please, sahokti baro. What is the lakshana?
Sahokti ingardu, he takes away two things at the same time. Adadu shatrunam pranais sakam yasho api neetam. In Andamadri, samam, sakam, sardham, these words have to be there for sahokti. So,
When mean, the word go and gavaha, it's very nicely done. But I thought, but really there is no shlesha or anything. It's because
there
it's
in a way there is a shlesha. அதாவது எப்படின்னா, because he also takes the gavaha anayishata. He doesn't lead during the evening time as the sun sets. The cows are all brought back, right?
taken home, yes.
So they are taken home.
Okay.
Along with the kiranas, along with the light of the sun. So there is a shlesha here.
Okay, but in the shloka in netra aparanamadeya iti uktatvat, gavaha is actually taken as I in the second.
Ama.
Right. So okay.
Netra aparanamadheyaha gavaha api. Gavaha api. You can take it as a second time and translate it as gauhu gau gavaha, as in pashavaha. Okay. வேற என்ன இருக்குன்னு பாக்குறேன். அவ்வளவுதான். திங்கிங் தேர் வுட் பி நது அந்தகாராகங்கிறதுல இதுவோ இல்ல, அது வராது. ஐ தாட் இட் வாஸ் அபன்னுதி. இட் கான்ட் பி பிகாஸ் யூ ஆர் நாட் டினைங் த விஷயா ஹியர். தேர் இஸ் நோ சாமியம். ஓகே. So vivasvata anayishatev mishraha swagosahasrena samam jananam gavopi netrapara namadheyaha tenedamandhyam khalu na andhakaraihi.
என்ன சொன்ன?
அனாயிஷத தாத்துல பார்த்தேன்னா இட் இஸ் கர்மணி நீநய தாத்து இருக்குல்ல.
The meaning of anayishata.
Vivasvata, he was taken nitaha iva.
Gavaha anayishata. Bahuvachanam, right?
Ama, bahuvachanam.
Gavaha anayishata. The cows were taken away, passive voice.
Were taken away by Vivaswan.
Got it. Okay.
So anayi, அப்போ விவஸ்வான் லுங்கிலேயே வரணும்னா அது எப்படி வரும் தெரியல. லுங்ல அனயிஷ்ட அனயிஷ்ட கரெக்ட். விவஸ்வான் காஹ அனயிஷ்ட. ஓகே, லுங்கிலேயே சொல்லணும்னா, இல்லைன்னா அனயத்துன்னு போடலாம்.
Yeah, of course, he's got lots of other, the Shabda alankaras, Vivaswa, coming then Swago, then of course Gavaha, then he's got a few more.
அது விருத்து, இது அனுப்ராசா
kind of, he's got that going on.
Shabda alankaras.
Yeah, and the
why did you say Nandakara he doesn't have the Apahnutihi? Why we are not denying?
What is the denial load? இதுவே என்ன? அபன்னுதிக்கு you have to have a comparison between two objects, and then you are denying the vishaya or the vishayi something. What is the comparison here?
Aropaha.
There is no aropa, there is no இது சும்மா நான் சொன்ன இடத்துல எல்லாம் you cannot have apannuti. There is no comparison here.
There is no dharma is not getting denied.
Okay.
So sahokti and shlesha and shabdalankaras and those are the things, right? You said.
Yes.
Okay.
And utpreksha.
Utpreksha, yes. Hetu utpreksha. Asiddha vishaya hetu utpreksha. There is also this kriya utpreksha according to some people when you say anayishata iva iti. So that is according to other people, you can say, and even but Appayya Dikshita clearly calls it as hetu utpreksha because it is the nayanam andhyam. So the nayanam itself is an utpreksha also, right? That it takes away the eyes is also an utpreksha here.
I mean, I found the word mishraha interesting because mishraha means mixed. Mishraha gavaha means the actual gavaha, which are the rays, and the light of the eyes or the eyes, the second gavaha, both are mixed. So mishraha.
They're mixed together with its own light also.
It looks like in every kind of Utpreksha examples we have seen so far, everywhere we can somehow put that Kriya Utpreksha and try to justified.
Yes,
Some
mostly in Kavyam you
everywhere.
will find Kriya Utpreksha being the maximum that you can see. You can identify. Kriya Utpreksha the maximum.
Oh, okay.
நிறைய பார்த்திருக்கேன் இந்த மாதிரி where the hetu I have seen in Shivali Larnavam I have been seeing some hetu utpreksha and phalotpreksha also, but very common is kriya utpreksha. Yeah.